We're back in studio for this episode because Studio Cat lost his mind when we weren't there to give him treats. So we're back, and Studio Cat's, I think he's asleep. Well, it was a weekend of lame fuel mileage wins, so let's start with NASCAR.
The Sprint Cup Series was in Pocono for the Tortilla Chip 400.
I like that track.
It is triangle-y.
Yeah.
Well, we'll start off with the Cup race, which had a nice couple-hour rain delay, just right off the bat. That was fun.
That seemed to confuse Amazon quite a bit because would they have like 3 hours of rain delay?
Yeah, I think it was about 3 hours.
Yeah, because I was watching live for a while, and then I went back to watch the replay, and the replay is 3 hours of rain delay with no actual race. So.
I saw they did their normal pre-race, and then we're like, we're tired. Let's just show some replays or something. We'll come back later. Well, stage one was not exciting, mostly uneventful. Denny Hamlin won. There you go. That's about all that happened.
That's where I like to thank God for the scrub bar at the bottom of my iPad.
Oh.
You can just do like 5-minute scrubs. Anything happen? No. Anything happen? No.
Crash. No crash yet. No crash yet. Okay, good. That was the stage.
All right. It's like watching soccer or the NBA.
Oh, a little bit, yeah. Brad Keselowski actually got out to the lead after pit stops, which was nice. He's had kind of a terrible year.
Poor Brad. You know what? If you back up to the national anthem, you know you're watching an auto race when most of the wives are taller than the drivers.
That's true. That is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Towering over them.
Always, short driver and, runway model wife because they have money.
Finally, at lap 43, something actually happened. Riley Herbst cut a tire. And he hit the wall.
It was hard to tell what was happening with the amateur Amazon coverage.
I found out after the race that all of the cars had brake issues, which made them cut their tires. No one was sure what was happening at first. Actually, who else? Bubba also, and
Bubba.
They even brought Tyler Reddick into the garage to change his brakes during the race, and he lost 2 laps. It was that bad of an issue.
Cheap Chinese brakes.
Yeah, that's probably Toyota. What are you guys doing there? Trying to save some money. The Dinger mistook his tire carrier for a pickleball, and he knocked the tire directly into the chest of the 88 tire changer. But the guy finished the pit stop. Turns out after the race, 2 broken ribs and a punctured lung.
Wow.
Is what he got. Still finished the pit stop.
Wow. Dude deserves the Walk It Off award.
Yeah, he did more than that. The replay, punctured lung.
Wow.
He gets hit and he's sitting on the ground like, oh my God, this hurts so much. I gotta finish the pit stop.
I got a tire to unscrew.
Walked it off.
Yeah, he did.
That's when the other 2311 car cut a tire and hit the wall.
Another brake explosion. Wait, so you're saying the teams that haven't signed the charter had brakes explode?
Oh. Some sort of NASCAR conspiracy.
We need some investigative journalism there, which is hard to find these days.
No.
Unless it's against Trump.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
Lap 60, Brad Keselowski ruined his excellent day when he mistaked the pit entry for an open relationship and tried to enter when closed.
Oh.
It's tough.
Can't do that. Lap 81, Ricky Stenhouse restarts behind Carson Hocevar and fills the world with hope. But then he wussed out and didn't ram into the back of Hocevar.
I think everyone at the track and on TV were like, oh, here we go. Let's see it.
Come on. Wussed out. You know what a wuss is? It's a combination of a wimp and a puss.
Oh.
And that's what you are, Ricky Stenhouse.
He'll get him at some point.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't have his fighting shorts on yet, so...
He's got to have the shorts on.
And then that brings us to our bad luck Kyle Busch crash of the race on lap 83, along with half a dozen other cars.
Yeah. Was that one Busch's fault? Like, it doesn't matter. He's just going to
It's
crash.
just going to happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. But it's going to happen. Chase Briscoe ended up winning stage 2. Stage 3 started with Briscoe leading. And not much else going on until lap 36. Lap 36? 36 laps to go
36
in
to
the
go.
race. Green flag pit stops. The 88 did a nice little exhibition spin. That was nice.
That was a clean spin, too.
Yeah.
Good job.
Recovered.
Yeah.
Still didn't finish well.
You know, in Manzanita Speedway, Keith Hall would give a driver $100 cash if he flipped it on the front stretch, which back then $100 was like 500 today, or maybe 1,000. I don't know.
Is that still enough to fix your sprint car, broken wings and stuff?
Oh no, it's like a consolation.
Oh, hey, cool show. Here's something to help. During those pit stops, Chase Briscoe took off 2 or 3 seconds early and didn't get the fuel completely full. His crew chief didn't think he could finish the race.
A lot of shaking of heads.
Yeah, angry, tossing things.
I do want to give a shout out to announcer Steve Letard for channeling Cajun Man during that point. Execution, communication, and frustration.
Oh man, Cajun Man.
Yeah.
That's a deep cut.
He didn't do the accent, but he literally said execution, communication, frustration.
Then we retreated to the last 30 laps of the race, talking about Chase Briscoe saving fuel in the lead. And shockingly, he saved enough fuel while in the lead to win the race.
The first of the fuel strategy wins.
The first. I do love watching the leader go as slow as possible without losing the lead. That just makes an exciting race.
And why can't anyone do proper donuts in this generation of stock car?
I don't know. That didn't go well.
No, like burnout, flip around. I mean, at least try a Rockford or something. Is it hard to switch from reverse in this thing? I mean, do something.
I think it's a straight shift, so you have to go all the way down to get to reverse.
Oh, like a motorcycle tranny? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you don't actually have to. You just pull the clutch in and let it flip around. Oh, fuel mileage wins. So why can't they adjust these track race lengths so that we get actual racing all the way through and not who can save fuel the best?
No, I think the dirty air was too much for passing here at this track anyway. I'd put it more on that than
the Charles Leclerc excuse.
Yeah, because Hamlin and who was behind him, I don't know, the 3 other cars were all faster than Briscoe, but they just couldn't get around him. Stupid dirty air. Can we just take the bodies off the cars? Just have
like a rail
frame?
job?
It's just the frame racing. Then you don't have to worry about aerodynamics.
Well, let's do best and worst paint schemes for the Pocono 400. Best paint scheme, I went back to the X series to find one. Williams, the number 11 car. It had an American flag, a bald eagle, puffy clouds. I think there was some fire in there somewhere. The only thing missing was a musket.
Oh,
And that was a great paint scheme.
that's a good paint scheme. I had to search through the Cup Series. Not super exciting, but David Gilligan did have... Not David. Todd Gilligan. That's his dad who used to race. Gilligan had the pickle car again. I do like the pickle car.
Yeah, it does look like Adult Swimish, doesn't it?
It also says pickle car on it. So, there you go.
I still haven't seen him do the Peanuts car where it just says Peanuts.
With Charlie Brown on it? Or
No, it's like a big... They could do like the Peanut Man with the monocle and the top hat. That would be cool.
Mr. Peanut?
That's probably trademarked.
Yeah. My least favorite car was the number 17 Nexletol or whatever. Can we trade out Big Pharma back for Big Tobacco? Because at least they had really cool paint schemes.
Yeah, Big Pharma cannot do a paint scheme.
They're just lame. They're full of small writing.
Lots of Latin.
Yeah, let's get the Skull Bandit type of liveries again.
Gatorade. There used to be a Gatorade.
Oh, that one
car.
was good. Just the Marlboro one. It's just because that red. That was a good one.
Simple. Everybody knows the Marlboro car. For bad paint scheme, I went with Pool in the number 44 car. It's another bad 90s colors with random trapezoids and triangle shapes. And you know what? This just needs to stop. I'm going to file an injunction. No more bad 90s paint schemes.
Make sure you find a good judge.
Yeah.
Get it immediately.
I'll go to California. They'll do whatever you want there.
Oh,
I'll say Trump likes 90s paint schemes, and boom, I'll get the injunction.
that's true. Yeah, do that.
In other news, so NASCAR now has an in-season tournament? Really? But are we European soccer now? I mean, what's next? Are they going to decide the championship with a playoff or something? It's ridiculous.
Auto racing would never.
Stoop to such.
I don't know. My guess is the gambling companies were pushing towards that. Some more things to gamble on.
Have we seen a DraftKings car? Is it the...
I've seen DraftKings. I've seen MGM, a few other ones.
We have seen MGM.
I don't know. I think it's just to make people pay attention. Everyone likes filling out a bracket, right? So
Oh, yeah.
they'll do it for NASCAR?
I'll do a bracket.
Yeah. Well, you can win $1 million if you get it right, they said.
Oh, okay.
NASCAR driver Ricky Stenhouse's spotter was fired after the Mexico race. So say the spotter was fired after the team learned he had coordinated ice to detain Carson Hocevar.
Oh. So he doesn't want to fight him. He just wants to get his spotter to have ICE arrest him.
Didn't work out.
Front row and 23XI. Yes, I'm going to call him 23XI.
That's fair.
Front row and 23XI filed an appeal to overturn the overturning of their injunction to race as a charter while not signing the charter. Our Pit and Paddock legal analyst says the teams are likely to win their appeal because they threatened to call the women of the View from the View as witnesses.
Oh, I would settle immediately.
Yeah, that'll get a settlement for you.
Up next, NASCAR is heading to Georgia for the Quaker State Available at Walmart 400. That's a name.
Really? Like, my wife thought that was a joke. I'm like, no. That's really the name. I'm like, why not the Quaker State Available at Auto Shack 400?
How about the Quaker State Available at Toys R Us 400?
I would go with the Quaker State Available at Waffle House 400.
Ooh, that's some thick coffee.
Yeah.
How about the Quaker State Available at Adam and Eve 400?
Oh, yeah.
All your lubricant needs, I guess.
That might not be the
Quaker
right
State.
kind of oil for the Adam and Eve adult store. IndyCar went to Road America for the Hottest Balls Grand Prix, and after, 9 races so far, we still only have 2 different winners. And it wasn't Captain Kirk. You guessed it, another Pablo win. And even worse, it was a fuel mileage win thanks to teammate Scott Dixon. Rosie finished second, and Santino stuck it in for third. Good job, St. Ferrucci.
This is a good drive. This is worse than F1, though. Just
Same 2 winners every time.
F1 has like 4 different winners this year. Now we're stuck with 2.
Like, the race was actually good, and a lot of stuff happened, and
Yeah, all the parts were interesting, and then at the end I just saw it shaping up for Pablo, and I'm like, oh yeah, Dixon, didn't he?
yep.
And just fine.
No, he shouldn't have made. Well, Dixon didn't make it. He shouldn't have made it to the end, but Dixon let him draft.
Yeah, I think that's what did it.
Team orders.
I don't know.
Pretty Ferrari of them.
Yeah.
Race highlights. Lap 1. Pablo gives us hope by falling back 2 spots, and Malukas heads for the beach. He didn't waste any time.
Just right off the track. Again, Team Rahal shows up for qualifying. Foster started P1. I think Rahal made the
P6.
P6.
Yeah. But Foster only lasts 4 seconds. 4 laps. And then he gets passed by Scotty Mack, or S-Mac, That's what I was going to call him from now on.
We're going to shorten it down even more.
Yeah,
S-Mac.
S-Mac.
I think Foster lost because he shaved his mustache.
I'm going to agree with that one. He'd actually looked American with the mustache.
He probably extra downforce.
Oh, yeah. You know, all the fastest drivers in history had a mustache. Graham Hill,
Nigel Mansell.
Nigel, Dale Earnhardt.
Jeff Gordon's little...
Oh. Jeff needs to keep shaving.
That was rough.
You know, here's my question. Where's the leaderboard, Fox TV? Like, we're almost at the end of the lap, and there's still no leaderboard. It took him like 3 laps to get it up.
We're, halfway at least into the season, and we're still having, like, technical issues with things?
Simple technical.
A leaderboard. They had that in the 70s. Come on,
We
guys.
haven't had to watch the back of the bleachers while there was an important pass going on with a lap to go yet.
It is better than
Yeah.
Fox's NASCAR coverage, I will say that. Lap 3, Scott Dixon gets into the pits. Get ready for a late sneaky Scott Dixon was the first thing I thought of.
Yep. Lap 4, Ray Hall drops 2 spots to 7th, despite a driver in front of him crashing out. He should have been 5th, and he's in 7th.
True. Well, we do have some good news. Lap 7, Ray Hall continued dropping to 9th.
Good job, Graham. He qualified good, though.
He did qualify good. Yeah. Good job, Ray Hall. You qualify good, except in the Indianapolis 500. Will Plower looks to take out Kirkwood again, and missed this time.
I would have paid money to see that.
Lap 10, Stingray tries to imitate a bunker buster hitting a nuclear facility. Just directly into the wall there.
That was a good-looking crash.
That's Detroit, he had that other crash, too.
Oh, yeah, he does crash well. At that point, most drivers pit except, guess who? Sneaky Scott Dixon stays out because he pitted on lap 3.
Oh, Scott. Lap 22, Connor Daly decides to visit the beach as well, and then steals the tow cable from the recovery crew.
I thought he grew a tail.
He takes off with it around the track, flopping behind him. What the hell's going on over here? And kind of hope no F1 stewards are watching the race. Without track limits, they would have a heart attack.
What turn was it where everybody was going way off into the concrete?
Way off.
In the dirt, there was like the dusty, like, and if they give names to the turns like they do in F1, that would be, dust or valley fever.
The grass and dirt are the track limits.
There's quite a few passes on the grass I did see, wheel off on the grass.
Wow, a couple people just went off and got back on without crashing. It's pretty cool.
It was actually a good race, especially for Wisconsin.
That's a big trip. On the restart, Graham got hit by adult toy distributor Renus VK and loses even more spots.
At this point, I just stopped counting how many spots Graham's losing.
Yeah.
He's, I think Graham the Unlucky has officially returned.
There was a brief period where everything was nice, but now we can qualify well, but then we can't close it out. Lap 28, Will Plower gets spun by Will Plower.
Good job. I like the exhibition spin.
It's a bit of an exhibition spin there. Yeah. 25 to go. Newgarden does a beautiful slide into a signboard and the wall, and he's out of the race. Messed up his back wing.
I like the signboard had water in it, or was that water on the grass?
Looks maybe both.
Because you could see water flying up into the air. It's like dropping a Mentos in a Diet Coke liter.
Shame.
I'm just wondering, is Penske finally getting their comeuppance this season?
Did all their cars crash out of the race again? I think it was close.
They haven't had all 3 cars finish a race in quite some time.
They're bad.
Yeah. But can we get someone besides Pablo winning if
Yes,
Penske
Kirkwood.
can't do it?
You can get Kirkwood.
Can we get someone? Well, Kirkwood's Andretti?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Andretti's finally getting some wins after years of bad luck.
That's true. 20 laps to go. lunge guard, spins directly in front of everybody.
Keith Hall would have given him $100.
Yeah. Nobody hit him, though. Worked out. And then 2 laps to go. Scott Dixon pits and fails to get his sneaky fuel mileage win.
Which
Close,
is where
though.
we learned that he was just drafting for his teammate the whole time.
That's probably why they had him stay out as long as he could.
Yeah. You got to think he's like, well, why can't he be drafting for me? We're on the same team. But no.
He needs to win every single race this year. Sorry, Scott.
Yeah. You know what? My highlight of the race happened about this time when announcer Townsend lets us know that the fuel mileages are different this year because the hybrids burn more fuel. Wait, and I'm like, wait, what? The hybrids burn more fuel
They burn
per
more
lap.
fuel per lap?
I thought hybrids were supposed to be like fuel saving.
Right. They store energy and release it
Yeah.
using, braking and such. They
Apparently-
burn more fuel.
They burn more fuel because they got that extra 100 pounds of battery, and the electrical power doesn't make up for it. So, why are we running hybrids again?
Can we get this trash out of the car?
I know.
God. Oh. Well, lucky for Pablo, he finally got a win after going nearly a month winless. Just a terrible winless streak for him. My heart really went out to him.
We had such hope that maybe he was done winning for the year. Actually, I thought that when we got to Indy, I'm like, oh, ovals, maybe he won't win there. Nope. Santino. Oh, is that you like combined as Santucci? Okay. Can I call him Saint Ferrucci?
I like that too.
San, I think, is saint in several languages. Saint Ferrucci, P3, runs out of fuel and chugs a beer that somebody, random person, gave him. Like,
Got stuck in whatever turn it was and was like chugging beers thrown from the fans. I thought that was pretty funny.
he should have took a shoe off and poured it in there and done a shoey.
Bit of a shoey.
Yeah.
Man, I can't imagine how awful that would be.
Ugh.
After a full race of...
Patrick Stewart drank shoey out of Ricardo's shoe
Oh,
a couple years ago.
weird.
Maybe more than a couple. When's the last time Ricardo could win a race? Like 5 years ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The other 10 cars that were close on fuel just stopped right at the pit exit there at the end of before the cool down lap. That was pretty interesting. They're all just like, nope, not going to make it. Going to park it here.
Apparently, IndyCar doesn't have that rule that you have to end the race with the liter of fuel for testing.
Oh, that's right.
Like F1, they don't have that one.
That's stupid.
Well, if they did, they could take the win away from Pablo and give it to Rosie, maybe.
I don't know how you could not do that since F1 doesn't refuel their cars. You should be able to finish with a liter.
F1 doesn't refuel, yeah. They just put enough in. Next up, IndyCar goes on protest for a week before being forced to race in Ohio at the Honda 200. So,
Can't believe they forced them to race in Ohio.
yeah,
Is this some sort of punishment?
cruel and unusual punishment to
Wow.
race in Ohio. I think that's like Graham's home track, so he'll probably qualify well and then crash out.
That sounds about right there.
Yeah. Formula One was on gardening leave last week, but we brought you some gritty breaking news.
Brad Pitt is considering a racing career after driving for the F1 movie. Here are our top 5 recommendations for where Brad Pitt can find a seat. Number 5, there's always sports cars.
That's where you go when you're too old and he is 60 something.
Too old for anything else, sports cars.
I don't even think Newman was racing by 61 or 2 or whatever Brad is. Was he?
He kept racing after.
After?
Yeah, he would do.
After he died?
Yes.
No. Okay.
Yep. Still races to this day.
Number 4, Arca. He can scream around the track like a bald eagle.
Your top 2 starters, Brad Pitt and Cletus McFarlane. That would be fun.
They would get more views than the actual race, the cup race, if they had those two.
Oh. Number 3, Pinewood Derby cars. That would be fun. You're never too old for that.
I remember the Pinewood Derby car.
I never did it.
No. Were you in the Boy Scouts?
No.
Oh, it's Cub Scouts. I didn't do Boy Scouts. I think I did Cub Scouts. Yeah, I had like the car comes in a kit and then you have to shape it.
Oh, should have hired on Adrian Newey.
Ooh, yeah, he would. Great. Number 2, the Craftsman Lawnmower Series
That would
in
be fun.
Minnesota.
Well, some lawnmower racing on ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Yeah.
Number 1, the Reno Air Races.
Oh yeah,
Get
that'd be good.
get out that P-51 and get up in the air. I don't think the survival rate is great for the air races, though. That could be a little dicey.
He could team up with Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise versus Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
Air races.
that would get up some views. And our honorable mention is Brad Pitt could race in the Flugtag, the German one where they like human-powered ones and they fly out over the water.
And whoever has the most ridiculous looking contraption is usually the best one. I'd watch it.
They have judging. It's not distance so much, or is
It's-
it like both?
A little of both. It's more about fun. F1 driver Valtteri Bottas was shilling for one of the open Cadillac F1 seats after learning that IndyCar driver Pablo doesn't want it. Pablo said, "Why would I waste 4 years on a team that can't win?" Bottas replied that he had experience not winning and driving for Sauber.
True. He's, you know what? He would be the perfect experienced driver. Not as only his experience, he's experienced at losing.
One of the best.
Yeah, Sauber was like the worst team for what? How many years in a row now? 3.
Quite
We're
a
going
few,
on
3 or 4.
Yeah, 4. So yeah. Plus Bottas is interesting.
I'd like to have him back in the series.
Yeah. Well, next up, Formula One is in Austria for the Hitler Picked Us First Grand Prix. Wait, that's not the one that is Verstappen's home race, is it?
No,
No,
that's
it's
the Netherlands.
the Netherlands. That's right. Which, yeah, Hitler did pick Austria first, by the way.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he didn't really have to work that hard to get him to join whatever his thing was.
In other news, another bromance was broken when Trump yelled at Netanyahu on a phone call about the Israel-Iran ceasefire. Turns out Trump misunderstood, thinking that Netanyahu said he beat him at golf.
Oh, can't do that.
No, almost caused World War III there.
Wow. You know, you saw what happened to Biden when he said he could beat Trump at golf.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the one thing you don't say.
Yeah. Formula One boss Toto Wolff says Mercedes would be interested in entering WEC hypercar class if the balance of performance rule were removed, aka the DEI rule. They still do that. If your car's too fast, you have to carry extra weight.
Yes,
Is that what Peugeot was complaining about?
I think so. I don't know. That's the only reason there's so many cars in hypercar, though, is because they balance it out.
Who would run away with it if they didn't have the ballast?
Well, Ferrari does anyway, so apparently they need a little more.
Yeah. Studio Cat's not happy. He
No.
wants out.
Studio Cat wants out. He's trapped in this prison we have here.
Hold on, Studio Cat. We're almost ready to wrap. That's it for today. Next week, we have Formula One and, as always, NASCAR.
Every week there's NASCAR.